This baddie right here is Liv Empyrea, and today we are going to take a deep dive into her character design. In the last video, we took a look at Lee Hyperreal's color theory. The natural progression to that is to look at Liv Empyrea's shape design. So why shape design? Shape design can have your character going from plain Jane stereotypical lame to something more appealing and more interesting to your player. Within the program Procreate, I decided to erase everything under the skill preview so that I can point out each shape that I find in her design one by one. The first shape that stands out to me in this design are the teardrop shapes in Liv Empyrea's wings. And as I take a closer look into this design, I'm starting to notice the teardrop shape in multiple places. The next shape that I see is this star or twinkle shape. You can't readily see them from this distance, so I'm going to have to zoom in a lot more so you can see the various places that this shape is. And there are quite a few places. Let me zoom in a bit more. I know it's pixelated, but just trying to see if there's anything that I missed. Nope, looks like we're all good. Let's move on to the next shape. Looks like the next pair of shapes that I see are the square and the rectangle. And I also see a circle, so let's start circling the circles. I'm looking around for more circles. Zooming in. Looks like there's some more auxiliary rectangles that I found on her skirt. Found another star on her boot. And here is a new shape that we're gonna call an X or a cross. I mean, since she's Liv Empyrea, it's probably a cross, but it looks more like an X to me, so we're calling it an X. And that fellow artist wraps up the various detailed shapes that make up Liv Empyrea's design.
私はずっとあなたが目覚めるのを待っていました。
Okay, so when you're designing your character, not only do you have to take in account the shapes for your character design, you also need to take into account the shapes that you apply to your splash art or your compositions in general. In this splash art right here of Live Empyrea, we want to pay attention to what the shapes are doing. Where do the shapes lead your eye? Let's take the circle in the background, for instance. What this shape does is it allows the viewer, or it makes the viewer look at the shape, and then it directs their eyes to around Live Empyrea's face. And this is where that shape is leading us. It's leading us around the composition, around her outfit, and around to her face. All right, let's take into account another shape. Let's grab another color. Let's look at the staff. The staff is a line. It's not a shape, but it's a line, but it also draws the viewers down. If they followed the circle around her face, this staff, now you leave the circle and it leads the viewer's eyes down to appreciate the rest of Live Empyrea's design. I also see another shape that's leading my eyes, and it's this triangular shape here behind her, the castle. The castle's leading me up towards her face and down. So if you start it down, these angles take you up towards her face again, and this is about where you land, this negative space around her head, which leads you to look closer into her eyes and her hair and what she's doing up top. Let me grab one more color. Let's do an orange. So if you are a Westerner, you're going to be reading from left to right, but typography also plays a part in where the viewer's eyes are going to go. So if you're a Westerner, you're probably not going to understand this writing, but if you're looking at it, it's leading you here across the page, and if you're done reading, then your eyes will immediately go and follow the rest of these lines around the picture. Vice versa, if you are an Easterner and you start at the right of the page and you go this way, it does the same thing. You finish reading and then your eyes are drawn back up to the circle, and the circle takes you back around again in that little circle funnel around to her head again. Okay, let me get rid of all of this. And that's the power of shape design. So don't forget, like, the shapes are not just to keep your character from being stereotypical and things of that nature. They're also there to enhance your compositions and your character design to make it more interesting for people to look at. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't forget that shapes are important. It's not just, a beautiful pose or dynamic pose. It's also where that pose, or how that pose is going to, or how does that pose lead people into other aspects of your design. Not just how cute the character looks, but what's in the background. What does it mean? And also don't forget to repeat shapes, because look at this. You have this circle shape in the background, but because Live Empyrea is an angel character, it also repeats in her halo and in her orb. So don't be afraid to repeat shapes. And like I said, shape design is important. Please don't take it for granted. Use it when you can. Use it wisely. And yeah, that's it for this shape design video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And don't forget to keep creating, keep designing, and keep believing in yourself. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.